Honorable Shri Ramashankar Singh, Founder Chancellor, Honorable Chancellor Srimati Ruchi Singh Chauhan, Professor N. Ravichandran, Advisor to Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Daulat Singh, Pro-Chancellor, Governing Board, Board of Management and Academic Council, Professor Ranjit Singh Tomar, Vice-Chancellor, ITM University, Gwalior. Distinguished guests, faculty members, and my dear students, a very good morning to all of you. I hope that you and your family members are in good health and safe during the pandemic. It's an honor and privilege to receive the Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, from ITM University on this happy occasion of the 5th convocation in a virtual mode. This pandemic has essentially taught us how to use the digital medium to the fullest, from attending meetings and webinars to attending classes and taking important decisions at board meetings in the digital world. We have built an expertise in the last few months. As students, I feel it's important for you to make this shift by taking new courses online and studying in the virtual world without letting this pandemic in any way hampering your continuing education. While the virtual world does have its own setbacks due to excessive hours of screen time, which may cause digital fatigue, it has also shown us a new and unthinkable way of life going forward. I learned that ITM University Gwalior was born out of an innate passion to develop a unique scholastic ecosystem to celebrate dreams with a difference. With a short span of time, the university has been able to achieve numerous awards and rank among the best universities of the country, and I must compliment the founders and the people who are driving it to excellence. It was heartening to know that ITM University Gwalior stands as one of the first among private universities in Madhya Pradesh to obtain NAAC and ICAR accreditation. The university has been aptly recognized by the University Grants Commission and the Ministry of Education for its innovative pedagogy called APCA. I applaud the direction it has been guided by the advisory board and the effort that have been put forward by the faculty members. I was glad to read about the IdeaPad Incubation Center, which has rolled out more than 24 startups with annual turnover of more than several crores. This COVID-19 has shown us the real meaning of a global health crisis, shortage of hospital beds, testing facility, lack of jobs and livelihood, people dying, etc. But this distress has also taught us to manage. We have learned to lead a minimalistic life, yet to be happy with our needs and wants, and also shaken the nature up to its core. And many are still anxiously awaiting a return to normal. What is normal after the pandemic is likely to look very different from what we are used to before it began. Economic, humanitarian, and social fallout from the pandemic is far more severe than the 2008-9 global financial crisis. The International Monetary Fund projects the global economy to contract by 3% in the year 2020. The shock will mostly affect the poor, informal, and marginalized sections of society everywhere. As of June 2020, governments and international organizations across the globe have invested close to $9 trillion to try to prevent the most immediate human and economic impacts. As governments around the world are creating stimulus packages and reassigning budgets to fight this unprecedented crisis, it is absolutely imperative also to recognize the opportunity to reset humanity's relationship with nature. Nature is the foundation of economic growth. As the world seeks to build back better following the devastating impacts of COVID-19, there are no individual solutions to the challenges that lie ahead, only global ones. Building a healthier planet is the collective responsibility of all of us. The human footprint on the planet has had an immense impact on the nature world. Unsustainable consumption and production patterns have come at the cost of healthy ecosystems, biodiversity, and human resilience. Nature is declining at an unprecedented rate, with nearly 1 million species at risk of extinction because of the human activity. The consequences are just as alarming for business and humanity as they are for the environment. As per the report of the World Economic Forum, approximately $44 trillion of economic value generation is potentially at risk as a result of the dependence of business on nature and its services. Alarmingly, this is more than half of the world's total GDP as of today. It's said that biodiversity loss and ecosystem collapse is ranked as one of the top 5 threats humanity will face in the next decade. The world economy went through an unprecedented acceleration over the last 70 years, which has helped the average person to be 4.4 times richer and live 25 years more than the situation it was in 1950. Since 1990, the number of people living below the poverty line has reduced by half, but sadly we have to pay a huge price for this great economic rise. The cost bore huge impact on natural systems, including the degradation and loss of whole species and critical ecosystems. Nature-related risks have precipitated a tremendous economic crisis. The loss of natural capital has brought in a whole new set of risks, including biowarfare in the future, which cannot be ignored. Environmental scientists have also warned us that the path of returning to business as usual in light of the looming nature crisis will not be easy. This pandemic has reminded us that human and planetary well-being are intertwined. Nature must be at the heart of all our efforts, and economic incentives must be aligned to promote the protection of biodiversity, essentially to integrate nature recovery goals into our business and financial decisions. Leaders of the world today have a moral and a pragmatic imperative to take bold decisions that protect, restore, and sustainably manage the only planet we have and safeguard our future generations. We need to think of a new strategy to create a new future for nature and humans. It can help accelerate the reset that the world economy and society require in the post-COVID era. Youth like you need to come up with a workable framework for the industry to lead the transition towards a nature-positive economy. This is a path that can provide a win-win for nature, people, and businesses. It has got the potential to unlock an estimated $10 trillion of business opportunities by transforming the economic systems that are responsible for almost 80% of nature loss. But trying to reset world economic progress is not an easy task. We need to acknowledge the new context in which we live today. To be successful, this path will have to gain confidence and support of the civil society and the government. This can only be achieved by demonstrating its focus on inclusive growth and improved jobs and livelihoods. As per an estimate, has got the ability to create 395 million jobs in 2030 while pivoting the global economy to be nature positive. As we enter a historic decade of action to halt and reverse biodiversity loss by 2030 and address climate change, businesses and young graduates like you essentially have a very critical role to play. They have the technology, innovation, and resources to make the needed shifts towards increased investment in nature and nature-based solutions. Armed with human workforce like you, who are all graduating today, the business across the world will be more prepared to combat the changes of the climate while also moving ahead in building their organizations. The work of the United Nations Environment Programme and partners has shown that the restoration of land to achieve land degradation neutrality by 2030 is cost effective and helps us reduce poverty and inequality. And as we do so, we must adopt local practices and solutions. A solution for conservation of nature in the eastern Himalayas will not be suitable for implementation in the coastal areas of western India. The current pandemic has shown us that we are capable of listening to science, changing behaviors, and working collectively for a solution. We must embrace these skills and support business in re-engineering their businesses towards sustainability. The global economy is inextricably linked to the health of our planet. How we produce, manufacture, consume, and ultimately manage our waste is training the nature's ability to cope. COVID-19 has shown the need to drive greater resilience in our global supply chains, food systems, and healthcare delivery. While we are almost there in search of a vaccine for COVID, we must also recognize this as an opportunity to accelerate the efforts to put nature at the center of any decision making. Businesses across the world can take practical actions to turn these opportunities into reality by working with governments and civil society to set the agenda, push the transitions forward, and accelerate policy reforms. It is estimated that around $2.7 trillion per year will be required to be invested till 2030 to scale these transitions, including deployment of technological innovations critical to 80% of the business opportunity value identified. All these investments shall pave the way towards a people and nature positive development that will be resilient to future setbacks. The challenge of guiding people through uncertainty and into the new reality brings timeless needs into sharper focus. Empathy and flexibility are important leadership qualities at any time. When employees experience sudden and radical change, such as the need to work remotely or in highly restricted workplaces for an extended period, these qualities are even more essential to keep teams cohesive, engaged, and motivated. Students, the future of work has arrived faster than it was anticipated. Along with its challenges for sure, many of them potentially multiplied, such as income polarization, worker vulnerability, more gig work, and the need for workers to adopt or adapt to occupational transitions. This acceleration is the result not only of technological advances, but also of new considerations for health, safety economies, and labor markets, which will take time to recover and likely emerge changed. With the amplification of these trends, the realities of the current crisis have triggered reconsideration of several beliefs and possible effects on long-term choices for the economy, society, and the environment as well. These effects range from attitudes about efficiency versus resilience, the future of capitalism, effects on nature, densification of economic activity and living, Our approach to problems that affect us all and thus call for a global and collective action such as pandemics and harmful effects of nature to the role of government and institutions and civil society. COVID-19 will not be the last pandemic in our deeply interconnected world, and sadly, it may not be the worst. Profoundly possible futures are available to us. One which is we stick our heads in the sand, as we have consistently done, and where humanity takes the hard, necessary steps to protect itself. I would certainly welcome the second choice. I would like to reiterate that the students and youth of today must play a crucial role in trying to resist the harm being done to nature. It's now your responsibility to protect the planet while rebuilding the economy. Youth education represents one of the most effective tools to combat the destruction of nature and cultivate an international understanding amongst members of the next generation. Harming the nature at the cost of development is an irreversible process that will impact an infinite number of future generations. This generation can be adept at spreading new habits and technologies, and also well placed to fight against climate change. You are adaptable and can quickly make low carbon lifestyles and career choices as part of your daily lives. It is you who will determine the future direction of our world. And before you all get into business of doing, you need to understand, be aware of the harmful effects of the destroying of nature and what needs to be done to prevent it. We need to club the impact on nature to be economically strong, to be a $5 trillion economy as envisaged by our Honorable Prime Minister. Students, this is a time and moment to jump in and make a smart career choice. India's rich diversity of natural assets offers immense potential for employment in the field of ecological sustainability and the nature capital economy, particularly in adaptation and mitigation for a net zero restoration economy. India has 140 million hectare restoration potential to create jobs in forestry and agroforestry, biodiversity friendly agriculture, while bringing in communities on board. By investing $4 billion through Manrega, it can create approximately 8 to 10 million jobs. Forest restoration, protection and management, agroforestry, urban greening, sustainable timber, and watershed rehabilitation. In the renewable energy sector, a full transition to renewables will create 3 million jobs by 2030. Coupled with the flexible microgrid, we can also drive rural entrepreneurship in the solar industry for hard-to-reach communities. The youth must be adequately trained, and for that institutions like ITM University could design innovative courses on ecology and economics. India adopted the infusion approach to environmental education throughout the formal education system at the age group of 6 to 18 years since 2003. The infusion approach entails incorporating environmental education into the existing curricula of various subjects, as well as the development of project-based activities. But this has mainly remained targeted as one subject of study in the school education. There is much to be done in the higher education system, and I would urge the management of ITM University to think about development of such a course which deals with the impact on nature for creation of business. Courses can be designed to offer short-term executive programs as well. The university can also approach different government officers for the leadership development programs as part of the executive education on similar courses. Specific degree courses for retiring defense personnel can also be designed and developed who are from the hinterland and generally want to return as entrepreneurs to work for the betterment of society. We need to build businesses and organizations that are sustainable and are responsible, just like the Tatas have consciously been doing over the years. Nowadays, with the use of new technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning and blockchain, young graduates like you can drive the efficiency across infrastructure, agriculture, waste, water and natural resource management. These new technologies can also be used for effective energy distribution to meet demand and enhance energy security and efficiency. Jobs that have a direct positive impact on the planet traditionally involve renewable energy, electric transport, energy efficiency, or nature conservation. But right now, as more sectors transition to low carbon models, every job has the potential to become green. With unemployment rising due to the pandemic, there is now a chance to reconfigure the jobs landscape as environment will take center stage. You are soon to become a student of life, and it is a proud moment for each and every one of you. You are the ambassadors of this esteemed institution, so keep the flag flying high of yourself and of this institute by working with honesty, integrity, and commitment. I would like to urge you all to be the agents of change for the world, for the nature, and for the organization you are a part of. COVID pandemic is only a passing phase, and we all will come out of it successfully. I would like to conclude with a famous quote by Stephen Hawking. However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at.